Hi everybody. Let's see. You know me. I have to turn on the comments. I have to figure out how to do this. Whew, hold on one second. There we go. Okay, there we go. Now we should have some chat. I know it's super early in the morning. It's 9:30. 9:30 East Coast time. So I'm sure it's really early for everybody on the West Coast. Hi Bill. Hi everybody hopping on. I just wanted to give you guys an update because yesterday I asked the community if you wanted Jason's part 2 of his second chance interview, or if you guys, hi Mariah, or if you guys wanted an update, and everybody wanted a live update. So I did not get a chance to come on video yesterday. It's been a whirlwind since Monday when my mother passed. I've always said that funerals are a lot anyway, but my God, Italian Catholic funerals are woof, like it's good. Hey Catherine, lots of people I've never seen your names before, so I'm so happy you guys are hopping on. Hi. So there's been a lot going on, which is kind of partly good because it's a distraction and kind of partly exhausting. So yesterday around at 4, I had to go get my hair done. That's why I look like I got this mane going on today, because she just put a little bit of product in my hair. And hey Sarah, thanks lovey. She put a little bit of product in my hair. My hair usually needs a lot of product. Hey, lots of love and prayers coming your way. Thank you, sweetheart. And so I was going, oh, thank you. I was going to get a blowout because I had planned, before my mom passed, I was supposed to, thank you so much. I was supposed to go to a gala I was supposed to go to visit and gala over this weekend. So I had plans to get my hair cut and highlighted and cut and colored and blown out. And so I skipped the blowout because what's the point? I've got nothing going on until Sunday and I can't wait until Sunday with a blowout. So I went straight from the hair salon to my niece who's 11, to her school play, because she was very, very close with my mother and she's not taking it very, very well. So we went, and she still wanted to do her play and she's amazing, and we went to go support her. So I wanted to fill, and that's why I didn't get a chance. That's my long-winded way to say why I didn't get a chance to make yesterday's live video, and I'm here to update you guys today. Hey, Carly, sweetheart. So, what's been going on? So I told you guys, the last thing I told you guys was my interview that I did with Lauren about how the story behind my mom's passing. It's the video right before, it was from Tuesday morning. So it's a couple videos before this one. I did post one that I had already filmed in between. So if you guys want to know the story behind it, that's there. I'm not going to bore you and tell you the details all over again. So, Tuesday, I finally spoke to Adam. In that video, nobody at the prison ever notified him that my mom was, hey Jess, that my mom was gone. So, and that's okay, no hard feelings. I mean, there is so much more to life than sweating the small stuff, and that is something that I'm learning this week. So he called me back Tuesday night. He called me back because I sent him an email and I was like, listen, there is so much stuff I want to tell you, but every time I pick up my phone, I get so emotional. It's really hard for me to type this stuff out. So please don't think that there's anything wrong if I'm being a little bit distant. I just don't have it in me. I've been so emotional, and there's also so many plans and so much going on and people stopping by and ridiculous amounts of food. I was just telling the girls before, I'm like, I look so bloated, but again, no stress, no worries. So he called me on Tuesday night after he got that email because he wanted to check on me. And I can tell he's just so heartbroken that he can't be there for me. And for any naysayer and any hater and any troll that comes on here and says, well, that's his fault, he's in prison, he deserved to be far away for a while. However, if you don't know the story, keep your mouth shut, because I don't have it in me today to ignore you. So anyway, and I apologize, but I'm emotional. This is what happens. So anyway, so he called me and he was like, listen, he was like testing to feel if I was okay. And I had just read a beautifully written Instagram post from my sister's boyfriend, who I believe thanks honey. I know I do need to ignore the BS. Haters are gonna hate. So my sister's boyfriend and my mother were very close. And I have a very strong feeling that she had a side conversation with him, that she wanted him to propose to her before she passed. And obviously he didn't get that opportunity, and that's okay because everything happened the way that it needed to happen. But he had written this beautiful post on Instagram, so well written, beautiful photo of my mom hugging my aunt at my other sister's wedding, and she had this gorgeous smile on her face, and it was just beautiful. So I was a little emotional. And then he was trying to distract me, and he's like, so tell me about all of this food everybody's sending. And I went in, right? I was like, and all of a sudden the phone, I hear him go, hey. And sometimes when I'm on a tear and I'm going, row coffee tear, you know what I mean? I don't hear him at first. So the way he goes, hey, and then he goes, you've got to be kidding me. And he hangs up. So now I'm like, oh no, they had just gotten off of lockdown because of a fight on the yard, a pretty bad fight. My friend's boyfriend saw the fight. It was a pretty bad fight. So, and the way that he's talking, I'm like, shoot, something is, hey, Essa, something's popping off right there in the phone booth. Oh my God, because that very, very, very rarely happens to us. So I texted my friend whose boyfriend's at the same facility, who, like, Black Cloud Week, had just gotten into a car accident and rear-ended, but she was fine. A little bit of whiplash, and her son was in the car, and he's fine, same, but the car was fine and everybody was okay. But I was like, I didn't know at the time, and I was like, listen, just want to let you know, I think something might have happened, so if you don't hear from him, this could be why. They could be back on lockdown. I go back to my family, 30, and I didn't think he'd be able to call back because it was 8:30, and they usually cut off the phones at 9:15, and they have to wait 15 minutes between, I'm sorry, they have to wait a half hour? 15 minutes? I can't remember. They have to wait. My brain is fried. Somebody will know. Put it in the comments. Either 15 minutes or a half hour between calls. Why can't I remember right now? So anyway, my phone rings and it's him at 9 o'clock. And I explained it. Thanks, Lauren. No, it's Lauren. It's Lauren. That's who I was just talking about. I'm like, it's Lauren. Like, you guys would know. So anyway, he calls back. And he was like, I was explaining, oh my God, I got worried. I'm glad you were able to call back. And he was frustrated. And he goes, you shouldn't have to be worried about me right now. He's like, I'm done with this. I'm over this. He's emotional because he's trying to support me and he wants to be here for me. So he doesn't know how. And he's hiding it, but I could tell by those things. So he's been very, very supportive. He has called me twice a day. He did have a few extra minutes because they were on lockdown for a few days. So he's been wonderful. And he wants to be here for me. And I've been trying to tell him, like, it's fine. Like, the reality is, I didn't tell him this, but the reality is I'm used to him not being around. So as much as I would love him to be there for support, it's just not how my life has been for the past however many years. So I'm okay with that. So I just wanted to fill you in on a couple of things that have been crazy. And Jess, I was telling Jess on her live video yesterday, I was like, I'm going to text you because I might have like this weird question because I know you've lost a lot of people. And I'm thinking, like, my mother has been, this is going to sound crazy, and I'm sorry if this sounds crazy, guys, but my mother has, first of all, orchestrated this perfectly. She's been sending signs to us, and I've literally been, I don't want to say hearing her voice because that sounds kookadookie, but I've been like, I can feel that she's been guiding me in things. And I know that sounds crazy. And that's what I was going to ask you. Like, am I out of my mind? Is something wrong with me? Like, I swear she is giving me signs and talking to me. So, and then you have like an angel and a devil, right? Because then I'm like, well, I'm really sleep deprived and I'm really emotional. And, maybe it's just like I'm delirious. I don't know, but I'm going to tell you guys a couple stories and you guys tell me. So, Monday night, she passed away Monday afternoon. Monday night, I'm laying in bed and I'm hysterical crying. And, I was like, Mom, please tell me, I'm sorry if I get emotional, guys, but I'm like, I'm trying really hard not to. Not that I'm not letting it out, but I'm just trying hard so I can talk through it with you guys. I'm like, please just let me know, like, are you disappointed in me? Please tell me, did I disappoint you in this life, in your life, please? And I fell asleep and I didn't think anything about it anymore. So the next day, oh, I'm sorry, my best friend who I've known since I was 7, who my mom was like her second mom. I was talking to her on the phone and she goes, do me a favor and find something that in your mother's handwriting because I want to make you something. So I threw away everything because my mother love you, Mom, was always a pack rat. You could not throw anything away. There were times that I would throw like frying pans that things would stick to because there was no non-stick left, and you couldn't even cook on them. I would throw them away, and I would find that she took them out of the garbage. So I would have to start throwing things out behind her back. But then for me, it drove me nuts because there was just, not that there was clutter everywhere. Sorry if that glitched everything, but there was clutter like in the basement or in the closets. Like the house was beautiful, but there was just too much crap. So I'm like frantically looking through my stuff, getting emotional, like, I threw everything away. I threw everything away because I didn't want to be like that. And then I, thank God, with all of my stuff that I have like in a box under my bed from Adam, there was a card, and it's funny, I have cards from Adam's mom and dad, I have cards from him throughout the years, Christmas, birthdays, but I'm like, why didn't I save anything for my mom? She wrote beautiful cards. And then I found a card that she had given me on my 35th birthday, and it was beautiful, and it was like, you're everything that I've asked for in a daughter, you know, blah, 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 blah. It was just very, very sweet. And at the end, she wrote, I love you for always, Mom. So when I'm telling my friend, oh, I finally found a card, blah, 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 she's like, Ro, oh my God, this is crazy. She's like, do you guys know when dandelions pop up and they're not yellow yet and they're still white, and like kids take them off and they blow them so they can make a wish? All of those started flying around her, and she's like, there's those feather things all over the place, but there are no dandelions up yet. It's way too early in the year. It's only 49 degrees out right now. So I'm like, that's her. So that was a sign, just a little sign. Then, remember you guys, the disappointment thing. So, my other sister, okay, so let's go back to Mary, my best friend. Sorry, I'm all over the place. She's like, do you want me to pull an angel card? So, Mary, my best friend, is really into angel cards. And they're like a deck of cards. They look just like a deck of cards, but they have beautiful artwork on the front, and on the back of them, there's messages from angels. And she was really into them with my mom. So, and each different deck has a different theme, okay? And I'm sorry if this sounds crazy and woo-woo, but this is just, please. So she goes, do you want me to pull a card for your mom? Or is it too soon? And I was like, no, I've been thinking about that. Pull one. Let's see if she has a message. Guys, I'm going to post it in the community tab. The message was, remember how she left. And I didn't get to say goodbye. And I was hysterical that I didn't get to say goodbye to my mom. And she was trying to go, and nobody was letting her go. Nobody was letting her go. So she had to go away, go to the hospital, so she could finally go. So, because nobody was letting her, right? But I was struggling with that for the first day, especially the first 2 days. Like, I never got to say goodbye. She pulls a card, and it said, I had to leave that way. And then it goes into why she had to leave that way, and it's basically everything I just said, but I'll post that in the community so you guys can read it like chills. Okay, so let's go back. My younger sister, who had like an on-again, off-again relationship with my mom, and she harbored a lot of guilt. There was a lot of emotion around there, right? And my mother just was always very emotional about wanting her to come visit her and wanting her to call more, because there's a lot of emotion there. And so she was getting upset because she said that, she's like, everybody else are getting these signs and I'm not getting anything. Maybe she doesn't want to come, you know, send me a sign or whatever. So she goes to therapy. She goes to see her therapist on Tuesday morning, the day after my mom passed. And her therapist moved her office across the hall from where the original office was. And she had set up a little memorial for her father. And my sister walks in, and she said, she looks, she sees a little memorial, and there's a candle lit, and above it is the lady's certificate. And on the certificate is the date that she got certified. The date is December 12th, 2008 or whatever. December 12th was my mother's birthday. She started to cry, and the therapist said, what's wrong? And she explained to her, you know, everybody was getting these signs and I wasn't getting a sign from her, and that was her birthday. And her therapist said to her, I saw the minute you walked in the room, your eyes went right there. She said, I want to tell you something. I've never lit that candle before. Today, something was just telling me that I had to light that candle. So there was that sign. Now there have been more in between. I just can't really remember too much. Not that big of a deal. This is the big one. Last week, for you guys that don't know, if you're new here, I did see some new names in the beginning, but my mother, I was living with her. I was taking care of her because she was very, very, very ill at the end, and she couldn't really do that much for herself. So signs will come to people at different times, sometimes in dreams. You know what, honey? I believe you so much, and I've been asking oh, Lauren, she was looking over me in my accident. I've been asking her to come to me in my dreams, and this I'm glad you said that, because this is going to go with this story I'm about to tell. This is like the biggest one, guys, and I'm probably going to get emotional. Try not to. I'll get emotional afterwards. I just want to be able to speak. My mother had dreams throughout my whole entire life, throughout her whole entire life. If something bad was going to happen, somebody who passed came to her in her dream. They never told her what was going to happen. But let's say, like when my aunt passed, my mother dreamt of my aunt and her mother, my grandmother, I'm sorry, who was already passed. She was wearing black, or my mother would dream black shoes, or my mother would dream these things, right? That's how I know at the end, my mom knew she was dying. My mom knew she only had a short amount of time left, where I thought my mom was going to go in the fall. For some reason, I just thought the fall. And I understand now why, because had I known that it was the very end, I would have been a basket case, and I wouldn't have been able to take care of her the way that I took care of her. And I never wanted her to see me cry to her. I would always try to say so strong, because I knew she was anxious and depressed and so scared. So anyway, last week, because I lived with her, I came home. I worked 7 miles from where I live. So I came home for my lunch break, because that's what I usually did. I would come home, I would check on her, I would see if she needed food, and I would cook for myself. I would eat really quick, and I would leave. So I come home, and I walked into the room where she always stayed, and I said, Mom, how are you? I went to go check on her, and she shut her laptop really quick. And I said, what are you doing, Mom? And she said, I'm working on a little project. Okay. In my head, I was like, I know what you're doing. I didn't say anymore. I wasn't going to put her on the spot or anything, or make her tell me something she didn't want to tell me. That was it. It was last week sometime. And I want to say it was Friday, and my mother went to the hospital that Sunday overnight, and she passed on Monday afternoon. So Monday afternoon, all of my siblings, I'm one of 6, everybody comes to my house with their husbands, their boyfriends, their wives, and my father. And my sister went to go, my youngest sister, who was the second in line that helped us with everything. She went to go grab something out of one of the cabinets, and she found this box. And inside this box was a signed and sealed card to my loving husband. It was hidden in there. And in there as well with it were a whole bunch of cards that said, I love you more, I win. And that was my mom's thing to us. We would say, I love you, and she would say, I love you more. I'm getting emotional. So I knew, and all of this time, and Amanda, my sister, gave them to me, and we hid them, right? And I was like, I'm going to give that, I don't know what day I'm going to give that to Dad. Mom, I need you to tell me what day you want me to give that to Dad. I need you to give me a sign. And we waited. And then we went to go pick out flowers for the arrangements, and it was me, and it was Amanda, my sister, my youngest sister, and my dad. And like Amanda and I are like looking all over the place. We're like, where's our sign? Where's our sign? Where's our sign? Nothing. Didn't hear anything, didn't see anything. I'm like, Mom, you got to give me a sign, Mom. You got to give me a sign. So yesterday, Amanda's at my house, and we were getting ready to go pick out. So we ordered the flowers for my father and for my mother's grandchildren. And I wanted to talk to the rest of my siblings before we ordered the flowers from us. So we were about to go, and my father was in the other room. And I said, we have to look in Mom's computer. I know what's there. We have to look in Mom's computer. There's something there. So my mom had a, what do you call those? The Google computers that the kids get in school that don't have a hard drive. What do you call them? Oh my God, words are just escaping me right now. I have not slept very well. I'm emotional, as you guys know. But whatever you call those things, somebody put it in the comments. A Chromebook. My mom had a Chromebook. So there wasn't like a hard drive or anything. So I go on. Thank you, sweetie. And I'm looking through whatever I could find. My mom wasn't very computer savvy. We were able to get in her computer like that because we created her password for her because she wasn't very savvy. So I look through, I'm looking on her Facebook, I'm looking in her emails, I'm looking in her draft folder, her sent folder, her inbox. I wasn't reading anything, but I just wanted to see if I could find something. The project, right? And I was like, there's nothing here, Alma. She never got a chance to do what I'm thinking that she was doing. And I went to go close the computer, and she goes, did you check the notes? Did you check the Google Drive? And I was like, no, but I don't think she would have known how to use that. But let's check. I wanted to check everything. I open up the Google Drive. There they were. A letter for my dad and a letter for each one of my siblings. So she wrote us all goodbye letters, and I didn't read them, but when we were just checking to make sure there was one for everybody, because imagine if she wrote 5 out of 6 letters. There was one, thank God, for everybody. And when I saw mine, I don't want to read it. I'm not going to read it until Monday after we bury her and all is said and done. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to print them out. And yep, I'm going to print them out. And I'm going to tell my siblings the story at the repast after everybody's gone, or I'll pull everybody aside because it's going to be very emotional. I'm going to explain how I walked in on her working on a project and I just knew, right? And I was like, Mom, you got to help. If you want me to find these, you got to help me. And I'm going to print them out and I'm going to put them in the cards, because I think what happened was she was writing them out and she had planned to, she was typing them out, and she had planned to write her letters in those cards. So I just went to Walmart because I needed ink for my printer. I'm going to do that today while nobody else is here. But in my letter, you guys, in my letter, the only thing I saw was, you have never disappointed me. I asked her on Monday, Mom, please send me a sign. Please let me know, are you disappointed in me? Have you been disappointed? Did I disappoint you? That's not anything that we ever really talked about, ever. Because I didn't want to know. And I didn't want to ask her, and I didn't want her to have to get into that because I didn't even know if she would tell me honestly. But she told me. She gave me her sign. So, you know, and it's been amazing because hey sweetie, every single person that I have encountered since Monday has been so emotional, and like, your mother was amazing. She was such a sweet woman. There was nothing bad anybody could say about her. When I got to the hair salon, the lady had my mom's obituary printed out. She was more emotional than I was. And my mom had only seen her twice before she lost her hair, so she didn't need to get her hair done anymore. And she's like, but she used to bring us cookies. And I told you guys the story the other day about how my mom never even told her that my brother and my father owned the restaurant across the street that she used to go to a lot. Why would you think you disappointed her? You know, I think that's just something that sometimes we all think. And my mom was very strict. She had very old school values, and I didn't necessarily always have those same values. And, you know, like, she wanted to see all of her children living their lives and married and with their own children, and I went a different path. So I didn't know if maybe she was disappointed in me because of that. So, I mean, and again, like, I talked to Ray about it. She was so sweet. She's been texting me and she was talking me through it. We just get in our heads sometimes. But so I was, you know, Mom, did I disappoint you? Like, I didn't. Sometimes I talk you guys through this a lot when I coach you guys about how sometimes people want us to live their version of our best lives, and they don't realize that they need to let us live our version of our own best lives. And so I wasn't living her version of my best life. And although we know that we should be living our version of what makes us happy, she was just a mommy, and she just wanted to see us happy, and she had her version of that. She wanted you happy, trust me. Exactly. And you guys, I am not harboring anything. I am not feeling like I didn't get to say goodbye. I know 100% that is what she needed. Is this Adam calling? I think this is Adam. You guys, I'm gonna go.